The days were growing shorter. The nights were growing longer. Autumn equinox had just passed. When the day and the night stood in perfect balance before darkness slowly began to take over. A turning point, a time to change and prepare for what's to come. Autumn frost had just arrived, and so it was harvest time. Welcome to a day in the life with a freedom path.
I'm harvesting tobacco. This is tobacco called Alida, and I think it has been grown in Sweden for a long time. It used to grow a lot of tobacco in Sweden. I know especially around the Stockholm area that there was a lot of tobacco a few hundred years ago. This is a very special plant, one of the strongest plant spirits that we can work with. We use it as a way of prayer and offering. So tobacco is very special because it's a plant spirit that can help us communicate to spirits. So it can help our prayers to reach the spirit world and also reach other people. And it's the first year that we grow tobacco on this land, and because of this almost frost tonight, we decided to harvest today. Me and Leia are still a bit sick. We've been having a cold and some fever, but we thought that it's worth it, because if the frost comes more strongly tonight, then we might lose all of our pumpkins. So another thing that's really interesting and good about growing tobacco is that it contains, as you probably know, a lot of nicotine and other slightly poisonous substances. And the insects, they can feel this. And it also gives like a smell for the insects to feel. So in that way, you can grow the tobacco among the vegetables that you don't want like special insects to find and eat and destroy. For instance, like eating up all your kale and cabbage or your carrots and onions. Then you can grow tobacco in the nearby, and the insects will get like a bit confused and don't want to get close to the tobacco poison.
And so the day continued, harvesting tobacco, pumpkins, squash, carrots, and parsnip. The little family were enjoying the fruits of their labor this crispy autumn day. But in the shadows, the rabbits had snuck out of their cage and were enjoying the big harvest day as well. I'm taking care of tobacco leaves that we have cultivated out here. And this is the second batch that we're now have picked and will dry and prepare. And this is the first year we're growing tobacco, so we're experimenting with different methods. So before we just dried the whole leaf, but then when the second stage is to ferment the leaves, the tobacco, and then we noticed that the stem in the middle has a lot of water, humid in it. So now I'm taking away the stem, and I will also try now to cut up the tobacco in small pieces and then dry it.
So I just also wanted to mention about the tobacco plant that nowadays it is in many ways not respected and misused, and a lot of people are addicted to the tobacco plant and use it in unrespectful ways, in destructive ways. And it doesn't have to be like this. The tobacco plant can really support us in our healing. So in this way, also hoping that we all can change our view of the tobacco plant and see her healing powers and treat her with respect.
This year we've been making some herbal salt with herbs from the garden and some garlic flowers and this really nice Atlantic sea salt. So it's been drying now for a few weeks and we're gonna put it in some glass jars. First we picked a lot of herbs. We had some basil, thyme, a lot of dragon and libsticka. I'm sorry, I don't know the English names for these herbs. And we also had some garlic flowers and this really nice natural sea salt. And then we put it in our food processor and mixed it. And then we let it dry. And then I actually processed it once again, because when it dries it easily becomes like big blocks of salt. So I mixed it again in the food processor and then it's been drying a little bit more. And now it's ready. put in the jars. So this is a super nice way of caretaking your herbs, and also a very easy way to have a lot of nice flavor in the food you cook. So I really enjoy this time of the year when we get to enjoy the fruits of all the work we put in during spring and summer season. And now we get to harvest, and it's so good. And I really love this work of taking care of all that we harvest and prepare it so that we can eat it during the winter when there's no fresh greens. So this time of the year is also a big shift, going from a nice and warm Swedish summer with a lot of things going on, friends and festivals and all of that. And now the autumn is coming. We just had the autumn equinox, and I can really sense the shift. Now it's a little bit like back to reality. Okay, what path are we on? What are we doing during this cold and dark season? And also preparing for going more inwards and doing this inner rest and inner work. And in this time, I'm also so grateful for our community, all of our friends and family, because in the winter and autumn, during these dark and cold months, it's really important that you have your community, because it can be really lonely. Like in the beginning of our journey, moving from the city, we lived in a place that was actually really lonely for us.
Once in a while, we get the question if we can help to butcher small animals. Neighbors or friends ask us if we can help them to butcher and take care of their chickens. And that actually happened yesterday. So yesterday night I was on a mission to butcher 5 roosters. I helped our neighbor to butcher them, and in exchange I get to take care of them. We're going to pluck the feathers and then boil the chickens and then can them in glass jars. And we actually did this last year as well, so this is becoming a nice tradition. And yeah, it's a really nice way of preserving the food. So the fire is going, and it's really nice to do this outside and to enjoy the nice crispy autumn that has just come. We do it in a nice way, in a very respectful way for the animal. I love to eat meat, but I want to eat well-fed, organic meat. And I want the animal to have had a good life, because I want to live a good life, so I am what I eat. And therefore, we will eat the best chicken we can possibly find. And so the day came to an end. Yet The great community potato field remained untouched. That story will be told another day. Among the pines, as the forest's hidden creatures drifted into slumber, our family too slowly fell asleep. Good night.